half at the knees. The count is at 1-2. The Bee-Diggers have to defeat Eaton twice today, as I mentioned, to win the 3A title because of the one loss in the double elimination tournament. Breaking ball waved at it, missed. It's in the dirt. Peterson picks it up, throws to first, and there's one down as the strikeout is recorded. So Lane Greiman is gone, and that'll send up the number 2 hitter, Ryan Kaler. Got to watch out for him as Kaler did homer off of Rosenbrock in that 2-0 victory, with the other run scoring on an error. Now you've got two very good left-handed hitters in this lineup, Kaler and then the number 4 hitter in Mondragon, although Brady Tedesco is not a bad hitter either. The pitch and the breaking ball is a strike on the outer half just above the knees, and it's 0-1. On a gorgeous day, temperature in the 70s, with just a few clouds in the sky here in Greeley. And the 0-1 offering. Fastball is lined off the glove of B.J. Hirschfeld, the first baseman, into right field for a base hit. That was a shot, and Hirschfeld nearly made an outstanding play over there, getting a glove on it, but it's 1 on and 1 out for the third place hitter, the shortstop, Matt Burkhart. Burkhart had a big game, as did many other Reds. He had 3 hits against Brush the first time around in that 10-run victory. The stretch by Rosenbrock, short lead at first, and the pitch and the breaking ball is a little bit up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Rosenbrock already getting a feel for the umpire's strike zone. He knows he's got to bring it down. High pitch is not being called a strike. And the 1-0 fastball is off the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. Eaton yesterday was the visiting team against Sterling. And the Tigers actually had a 1-0 lead early and 2-1 before Eaton won 13-6. And the pitch swung on and driven into right field. Coming to his left as Brandon Walter has to play it in a hop. And it's a base hit for Matt Burkhart on a ball that was hit basically off the end of the bat. So first and second for the Reds. And here's Joe Mondragon, a very dangerous left-handed hitter who you don't necessarily want to pitch to, but in this situation you've got to, with a force at any base. So after a strikeout of Greiman, Rosenbrock has allowed 2 hits. The stretch by the right-hander. Mondragon awaits the pitch. Fastball is up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. The Reds took advantage of their opportunities yesterday. Stranded a lot of runners against Brush and against University, even though they won those games by 2 runs apiece. And the 1-0. Fastball is very high. 2 balls and no strikes. Rosenbrock appears to be overthrowing here in the early going. The 2A State Football Player of the Year, Kyle Rosenbrock, trying to save the season for the Bee-Diggers and extend them to another game following this one. The stretch. And the 2-0 pitch swung on and lifted foul out of play, in a fastball that ran in on Mondragon. The count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike. Your one-stop center for home improvement projects, Ackley Building Center at 1402 Mill Street in Brush, for flooring, paint, tools, appliances, and more. That is Ackley Building Center. Runners take their leads. The stretch. Mondragon awaits the 2-1 pitch. Here it is. Swung on and grounded weakly on the right side. Second baseman Mounts is going to throw to first in time. To his left as Mondragon is retired. The other 2 runners advance, and they're both in scoring position for Sean Carson. And Carson is somebody that Rosenbrock has handled. Struck him out a couple of times in their most recent meeting. Big hitter to retire here, righty against righty, but then it was Carson that got a key base hit in the 4th inning in that 2-0 victory that one of the runs later scored in that frame. Here's the wind and pitch. Fastball is a little bit upstairs, and Rosenbrock thought he had strike 1. Yeah, this is a tight strike zone. There's no question about it. And any pitch that is at the letters is being called a ball. Here's the 1-0. Fastball is outside. 2 balls and no strikes to Carson, the left fielder for Eaton today. At third is Kaler. Burkhart at second. with 2 down in the top of the first inning. And the pitch. Fastball is a strike. Just above belt level on the outer half. It's 2-1. Rosenbrock out of the windup with the runners in scoring position, so they'll get a head start on the ball hit. 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball is right there. Down the middle, again, belt level. It's 2-2. Rosenbrock is just 1 pitch away from getting out of a jam. Carson digs in. And Rosenbrock steps off. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on in the top of the first inning. We're in a scoreless game. Here's the wind and pitch. Swung on, lined, and into right center field over the leaping Trent Mount for a base hit. 1 run is in. Here comes the second as crossing home plate is Matt Burkhart on a ball that barely sailed over the glove of the second baseman Mount. And the Reds lead in the first 2-0. Well, they said it's a game of inches. It was right there. And that'll bring up Joe Kuhn, the Eaton catcher. Man, and how many times have the Reds, a 25-0 team, done that throughout the course of not only this season, but several seasons? They get that clutch 2-out hit. The pitch swung on and popped foul and out of play. Count is sitting at 0-1. Had Mounts been a step back or an inch taller, he makes the catch, but didn't happen there. In the dirt with a breaking ball. The count levels at 1 strike. And the Reds don't give up many runs. That's the other danger here. You can follow us at KSIRsports.com. Pitch by pitch. Swung on, grounded left side. That's a base hit into left field. Carson to second. 4th hit of the opening inning as Joe Kuhn delivers. And hopefully Rosenbrock has his worst stuff in this inning and not in any subsequent frame. That'll bring up Dalton Lind, hitting out of the 7th hole. Strong right-handed hitter. Peterson lays down the sign. Rosenbrock looks back, and the pitch. Fastball is a strike on the outer half thigh high, and it's 0-1. Carson off of second, Kuhn at first. And the offering. The breaking ball swinging and missing a ball that dove down in the zone, out of the zone. It's 0-2. And that's the other thing. Got to throw the money pitch when you have 2 strikes. When you're 1 strike away, got to throw that money pitch, and the ball was elevated against Carson. And he took advantage. Lind awaits the 0-2 offering, and he swings and grounds it up the middle. Shortstop Matos Garcia flips to second for the force, and that'll do it for Eaton here in the top of the first inning. However, the Reds do score 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. We head to the bottom of the first in this championship round in the 3A state tournament from Greeley. Eaton 2, and Brush is coming to bat on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Beat Digger starting lineup is brought to you by Cargill Beef, committed to feeding the world in a responsible way by reducing environmental impact and improving products and processes. Learn about Cargill's story of commitment at Cargill.com. Batting first is the first baseman B.J. Hirschfeld. Arnoldo Matos Garcia, the shortstop, hits second. The pitcher Kyle Rosenbrock bats third. The cleanup hitter is the catcher Alec Peterson. Batting fifth is the designated hitter Aaron Williams. Zane Fowl, the center fielder, at sixth. Brandon Walter in right bats seventh. The third baseman Mikey Gutierrez at eighth, and Grayson Simmons, the left fielder, bats ninth. At first base is Joe Mondragon for Eaton. J.T. Mossberg at second. Lane Griman's at third, and between him at short is Matt Burkhart. Sean Carson's in left. Ryan Kaler in center. Braden Stover in right. Behind the plate is Ryan, checked at Joe Kuhn. And the left-hander Brady Tedesco is on the hill for the Reds. And the Beat Diggers are in an early 2-0 hole after the 2-run single with 2 outs and 2 strikes by Sean Carson. And against this team, you have to counter immediately. Keep in mind, they're 75-0 in conference play here in the last 7 seasons. Here's B.J. Hirschfeld. Stepping in as the Bee Diggers play their 5th game of this 3A state tournament. Tedesco out of the stretch with the bases empty. And the left-hander delivers. Fastball is high. 1 ball and no strikes to Hirschfeld. Hitting from the right side with an open stance. Hirschfeld was 0 for 3 in yesterday's game. The pitch, and that is low with a changeup. BJ in the state tournament is 3 out of 12 for a .250 average and ahead in the count at 2-0. Tedesco stretches. Tedesco delivers, and that is over for a strike at the knees with a fastball. It's 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike to the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the first. Kuhn lays down the sign, and the 2-1. That's a strike on the inside corner. Took something off of that. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Hirschfeld. Big gap between short and third as Griman, the third baseman, is hugging the line. And Tedesco steps off. Your operation deserves the best when buying a mixer or feeder truck. Compare the MMI design, craftsmanship, and service. MMI International, 842-5161. They outperform their competitors. MMI International. 2-2 pitch. Fastball is upstairs. Ball 3, strike 2 to B.J. Hirschfeld. You're in the bottom of the first inning. Rockies won today 6-4. Same score the Bee Diggers beat University as the Rockies beat the Reds. And now the Bee Diggers looking to beat the Reds as well. But again, they've got to do it twice. Hirschfeld steps out. We'll see a 3-ball, 2-strike pitch coming up to the junior first baseman. And Tedesco delivers. Swung on and fouled off to the right and out of play. That's another thing you want to do. We mentioned this before. Just extend the opposing pitcher's pitch count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Again, Tedesco out of the stretch with the bases empty. Kuhn lays down the sign. The long pause and the pitch. Swung on and fouled to the screen on another fastball tailing away. And this will be the 7th pitch of the inning. Here to Hirschfeld. If you can get Tedesco to throw as many as 20 pitches in an inning, even if you don't score, you've accomplished something. He stretches. And the pitch to Hirschfeld. And that is low on a changeup, and Hirschfeld walks to begin the bottom of the first inning. With the Bee Diggers down 2-0. And that'll bring up Arnoldo Maltos Garcia. Baby looking to get on track here. 1 for 4 yesterday. In the state tournament, he's 3 out of 15 at 200 time. The stretch by Tedesco. Short lead at first, the pitch. Fastball is down and in. The Reds fans wanted it, but it was below the knees. 1 ball and no strikes. Eaton had got 4 hits in the opening frame against Rosenbrock, including that 2-out, 2-run single by Carson to plate the game's only runs here in the early going. A short lead for Hirschfeld against the left-hander. And the 1-0. Swung on and fouled out of play off to the right. Count evens at 1-1. Stop, shop, and save on all your grocery needs and snacks for game time enjoyment at the Brush Grocery Cart. You can also pay your public service bill and access Western Union Brush Grocery Cart, 1302 West Edison Street in Brush. Baby's got that even stance. The pitch. Fastball is a little bit up and away. Man, that's a tight strike zone. Both ways, it's really tight. Ball 2, strike 1. Rosenbrock didn't get some pitches that he thought were in there. Same thing there with Tedesco. 2-step lead for Hirschfeld. Tedesco's not thrown over there as of yet. And now a step out and a step off. Baby digs back in. Tedesco stretches. And the 2-1 swung on and grounded right up the middle of the second baseman. Drops the ball, flips to second for one. The throw to first is going to be in time. Oh, that's a terrible call. You got to be kidding me. He was safe by a mile. That is a horrendous call on the ground ball hit by J.T. Mossberg, and there's 2 down. Oh, that is just not a good call over there by the first base umpire. It clearly appeared that he was in ahead of the throw, and the Brush fans are not happy about it. 2 down for Rosenbrock. That changes the inning. It was a tailor-made ground ball to Mossberg, but he dropped it, then flipped to second, and Burkhardt made a strong throw, but it was late, at least from this vantage point, but called out. The stretch and pitch swung on and driven into the left center field gap, and that's why that double play is huge. Rosenbrock rounds first. He's into second with a 2-out double, and that could have been a run right there, at least second and third. But then again, Rosenbrock might have been walked in that situation. Yeah, even with a runner at first. Here's Alec Peterson. I'm telling you, you don't want an umpire to determine the outcome of any game or inning. But clearly, when Maltos Garcia was called out, that changed the inning. Petey is homered in the state tournament. The only home run hit by the B-Diggers in this tournament came against Pizza Peak in the opening game. A 3-2 10-inning victory for Brush. The stretch. And the offering. Fastball tails away. 1 ball and no strikes. Peterson has at least 1 hit in every game of the tournament. Rosenbrock with a big lead at second. Tedesco stretches. And the 1-0 offering. Swag and a miss at a ball at the letters. Brought some high heat. It's 1-1. Tedesco looking for the sign from the catcher, Joe Kuhn. And the 1-1. Breaking ball is popped up in foul territory. The catcher, Kuhn, goes over, and he died. Nope, was about to die, but it could not make the play anyway. And I think it was inside that box that is out of play. Not sure about that. Either way, it's 1-2. It doesn't matter. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here to Alec Peterson in the bottom of the first inning. The Reds lead 2-0. Rosenbrock off of second. And Brush, when they faced some left-handers this year, have been fairly successful. Didn't fare poorly against Kavakis at peak to peak. And scored 14 runs in that victory over University, where Jake Spence, that hard-throwing left-hander, surrendered 3 home runs. And the offering outside with a fastball. And the count to Peterson moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rosenbrock in the 3-hole today, Peterson in the 4. They're flip-flopping from their normal positioning. Tedesco stretches. And the 2-2 pitch. And that ball hit him in the lower back. First and second, and again, that's why that, I can't stress it enough, that's why that call looms even larger. You could have the bases loaded and 1 out. Instead, it's first and second with 2 down. Your best hitter for average, Nico Guzman, is not in the game because of stomach issues. And Aaron Williams, who's got a limited number of at-bats, is at the plate. And in a very key situation here in the bottom of the first inning. The stretch by Tedesco. And the pitch to Williams. Fastball, a strike, tailing away. It's 0-1. Got the outside corner. Williams is a spray hitter. That's the good news. He doesn't need it in a certain area. He can certainly go to right field. Runners take their leads. And the 0-1 pitch. And that's in the dirt with a changeup. Count levels at 1-1. Tedesco's thrown 20 pitches already. 10 for balls, 10 for strikes. So they're trying to work him here in this frame. You need your vehicle and farm equipment to be in top shape, so make sure you take care of them by purchasing the best quality parts at great prices at your local Napa store, Central Auto Parts in Fort Morgan. And now the home plate umpire out there with the catcher, Kuhn, and the pitcher, Tedesco. I'm not sure what the issue is. Williams is well outside the batter's box at 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, regardless of what they were talking about, the conversation is over. The Reds with an early 2-0 lead on Sean Carson's 2-run single in the first. The Bee Diggers have a threat working here in the bottom half of the frame. Rosenbrock at second, Peterson at first. 1 ball and 1 strike to Aaron Williams. Tedesco. Well, Williams calls time, and now we're at a stall point here. Keelan was running through the signs, and Tedesco now finally getting. And the 1-1 offering, and the breaking ball is a beauty. In for a strike, belt high. It's 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes on Aaron Williams. The stretch by the left-hander. And the offering. Curveball is grounded foul towards the Eaton dugout on the first base side. Remains at 1-2. The Reds are 10-9 all-time in state championship games, which this would not necessarily be one if Brush wins. The next one would be, but if they win, obviously it qualifies as one. The Bee Diggers are 1-1 all-time, both games against Eaton. Pitch to Williams. Swing and a miss on a bender, and the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit. No errors, and 2 men left. We played 1 in this 3A state championship round game from Butch Butler Field in Greeley. It's Eaton 2, Brush nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. 2-0 Eaton as we head to the second inning from Butch Butler Field in Greeley. I'm John Beltran, and the Reds have already scored as many runs against Kyle Rosenbrock in the first inning as they did in 6 innings. In his last outing against the Reds, a 2-0 victory, Brady Tedesco, J.T. Mossberg, and Lane Griman against the right-hander Rosenbrock, who picked up a strikeout in the opening frame. 8-9-1. And this has got to be a shutdown inning. Actually, everything's got to be shut down right now. Because once again, you threaten against Eaton, and they make the plays or the pitches that they have to in order to get out of a jam. And with the Bee Diggers short-handed without one of their better hitters, the challenge is that much bigger. So pitcher against pitcher as the left-handed hitting Tedesco steps in to begin the second. Always follow us on Twitter as well, at KSIR Sports, or our 1010 KSIR Sports Facebook page. And the pitch, fastball is up and away. 1 ball and no strikes to Tedesco. And the pitch, same spot, 2-0. It's going to be difficult for Rosenbrock to duplicate what he did in that loss a week ago Friday, but he's being asked to do something similar, and that fastball's a strike, belt high in the outside corner. Ball 2, strike 1 on the left-handed hitting pitcher Brady Tedesco. Here's the wind and offering. That's a strike with a fastball in the corner. Thigh high, it's 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes. Rosenbrock delivers. Called strike 3 with a breaking ball right down the middle at the knees. There's 1 down here in the second. And that's Rosenbrock at his best. That'll bring up J.T. Mossberg. Mossberg hitting from the right side. Rosenbrock picks up his second strikeout. The pitch swung on and lifted foul and out of play off to the right. No balls and 1 strike. Bee Diggers have several more opportunities, obviously, to inch closer. And the breaking ball's a strike at the knees. 0-2, but that was already pitch number 31 thrown by Rosenbrock, so his pitch count is up there, as is Tedesco's. And the offering, fastball is high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. With 1 out and the bases empty in the second. Peterson lays down the sign. And the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on a bender in the dirt. 2 strikeouts to begin the second. There's 2 down. 3 strikeouts in the game for Kyle Rosenbrock. Here's Lane Greiman, who began the game by striking out. Wind by Rosenbrock to pitch. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Way out in front was Greiman. It's 0-1. And right now, Rosenbrock is just commanding the strike zone. The offering. Breaking ball is up and in. Count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. And Rosenbrock is working quickly, not wasting any time. Now he steps off. Lost the grip on the baseball and decided to take his time. 1-1 pitch, and he bounces that changeup in there. Ball 2, strike 1. Yeah, with as good as Eaton is, it's just tough to get a 1-2-3 inning against them, but that's what the Bee Diggers have got to do. 2-1 offering, and that ball hit his bat. It went behind Greiman on the curveball, and it hit the top of his bat. He looked like he was going to get hit by the pitch, and instead it's 2-2. Rosenbrock trying to capitalize on the break and strike out the side in order. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the wind and pitch. And did he go on the breaking ball? They're going to appeal to first. And no swing. 3-2. Yeah, it didn't look like he swung. Peterson held up on one yesterday that they called him out on, which was an atrocious call over there at first. Here's the wind and the 3-2 pitch, and he bounces it in there. Looked like the ball slipped out of Rosenbrock's fingers, and it's a walk to Greiman. That'll bring up the dangerous Ryan Kaler, who singled into right field in the opening frame. So Rosenbrock now operating with a runner at first and a 2-0 Eaton lead in the top of the second inning. 400 straight away, 380 in the gaps, and 333 down the lines here in Greeley. Stretch and pitch, and he waved at that ball. Looked like he waved at it. They got to appeal that one. Clearly that was a swing. Oh, jeez. This is horrendous. How many bad calls are we going to see in a state championship game here? Come on. I mean, Kaler clearly moved the bat through the zone. That's 2 bad calls against Brush. And I'm trying to be as impartial as possible, but wow. And he went through on that one, but it's 1 ball and no strikes. Short lead at first. And the offering. Swung on, grounded into right field. That's a base hit. And rounding second is Greiman. He's going to head to third as the ball is barehanded by Brandon Walter. The throw goes all the way through, but no advance by the hitter. That's hit number 5 for Eaton. And here comes Matt Burkhardt. Burkhardt singled to right in his first at bat. And the Reds came up with those 2 runs in the first inning, all with 2 down. And they've generated this rally with 2 down and nobody on a walk and a single. And that's the problem. When it's 1-0 versus 0-1, that changes the pitcher's approach to the hitter. Stretch and offering. Upstairs and inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Here to Burkhardt. Rosenbrock stretches. And the offering. Fastball is down and away. And watch out because Mondragon is on deck. And even though Rosenbrock retired him the first time, he usually gets at least a hit a game. He's very good. Runners at the corners. 2 balls and no strikes to the right-handed hitting shortstop Burkhardt. And the offering. Swing and a miss on a ball that was diving down in the zone. Looked like he unleashed the changeup there. It's 2-1. Rosenbrock not wanting to give in this situation. Off of third is Greiman. At first is Kaler. Lots of speed on the bases. 2-1. Swing and a miss on the same pitch. As that changeup is just dropping. And Burkhardt is biting. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. 2-0 Eaton in the top of the second. Runners take their leads. Rosenbrock at the belt. And the offering. And did he wave at it? He did! And Burkhardt agreed with it, and Rosenbrock strikes out the side in order. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left after an inning and a half. In this championship round of the 3A state tournament from Greeley, it's Eaton 2, Brush nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Let's head to the bottom of the second inning in Greeley. It is Eaton 2, Brush nothing. And the B-Diggers have their 6, 7, and 8 hitters against the talented left-hander Brady Tedesco. It'll be Zane Fowl, Brandon Walter, and Mikey Gutierrez. Fowl yesterday was on base all 4 times, even though that was on 2 hit-by-pitches, a walk, and a hit batsman. Or check that, and a single, I should say. Foul in the state tournament is only 1 out of 9, though. The pitch, fastball right down the middle. That's strike 1. That might be the best pitch he sees in this sequence. The B-Diggers have not scored against the Reds in the last game plus. And the pitch, that's right there, same spot, maybe a little bit lower in the zone. On that changeup, it's 0-2. Fowl's got that rip on his pants on the back left side. Laying down the sign is Kuhn. No balls and 2 strikes to Fowl. And the offering. And the bender is down and in. 1-2. To Zane Fowl here in the bottom of the second inning. 2-0 Eaton. Tedesco working pretty deliberately. And now time is called by the home plate umpire. Make Stubbs Gas and Oil your next stop out of town. Heading out of town during your visit, you can gas up your vehicle, sit down to lunch, get snacks, and your hunting and fishing licenses. Stubbs Gas and Oil in Wiggins. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitch to Fowl. Swung on and lined and caught by the shortstop Burkhardt, lunging to his left for the opening out of the bottom of the second inning. Ball was not hit very hard, but Burkhardt was also positioned well to make the play. 1 down for Brandon Walter. Walter had an RBI in yesterday's game, part of a 5-run 5th inning. Walter in the state tournament is 1 out of 7. The stretch by Tedesco with the bases empty. The pitch. Breaking ball is foul. No, it's dribbled in front of the home plate, and throw to first is off the glove of Mondragon. That should be an error. I thought the ball hit the batter in the batter's box, but it was dribbled inside the first base side, and the throw appeared to be there. That's going to be an error. No base hit there for Brandon Walter. I'm going to call the error on Mondragon. That ball should have been caught over there at first. So the B-Diggers, for the second straight inning, have a base runner. In the first, they had 2. And here's Mikey Gutierrez. The tying run here in the second, although, as I mentioned earlier, the B-Diggers only have 1 home run in the state tournament. Short lead, the pitch, and that changeup is low. 1 ball and no strikes. Let's check out Gutierrez yesterday. He did have that bases to score the first run of the game against University. The offering, fastball is up and away. 2 balls and no strikes to Mikey Gutierrez. And Mondragon is an outstanding first baseman. I don't know if he just didn't see that ball into his glove. Mikey G was 0 out of 2 yesterday. And the offering, swing and a miss. Out in front of the changeup, it's 2-1. And it's a very effective changeup thrown by Tedesco. Takes just enough off that the hitters can be out in front and completely mess with their timing. 2-step lead for Walter at first. Gutierrez calls time. 2 runs on 5 hits for the Eaton Reds. No runs and one hit for the Bee Diggers in the second. And the offering. Swing and a miss on a fastball that would have been ball 3. That thing was above the letters, but Gutierrez went fishing. Two balls and two strikes. Again, Walter off of first. And the left-hander Tedesco looks over there and comes home. And that is, I guess, a little bit high on the changeup. Man, that had strike 3 written all over it. But it was called a ball. I think Gutierrez is surprised he's still inside the batter's box. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Tedesco delivers, and that is a fastball upstairs, and he walks. Second walk issued by Tedesco. And here comes the left-handed hitting Grayson Simmons. The 9th place hitter in this lineup for Brush. Tedesco's only struck out 1. First time around the order. With Walter at second and Gutierrez at first. Grayson was 0 out of 3 yesterday, had 2 hits against Valley. And the pitch squaring to bunt, and he pops it behind the plate. And again, the Bee Diggers have had that issue this season, just not laying down bunts when they need to or when they want to. No balls and 1 strike. Corf Continental is your GMC, Chevrolet, and Buick sales and service provider. They've got those pre-owned supercenters ready to serve you in Sterling, Yuma, Julesburg, Brush, and Fort Morgan. They're at CorfAutoGroup.com. No balls and 1 strike. 2-0 Eaton. Bottom of the second inning in Greeley. And the pitch. Fastball right there for a strike. Down the middle, just above the knees. The count moves to 0-2. Simmons in a big hole. With B.J. Hirschfeld waiting to hit next. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. He pulled that right hip on what was a pitch up in the zone. Looked like a changeup, and there's 2 down. 2 down for Hirschfeld, who walked to begin the bottom of the first inning. Tedesco has thrown 37 pitches. So, again, if you can get him to average about 20 an inning, you might get him out by the 4th. But Lane Griman is a heck of a closer, and he's not a 1-inning closer either. Kuhn lays down the sign. Tedesco had this type of start against University. Got into quite a bit of trouble, but lasted long enough to pick up the victory in a 3-1 win. Runners take their leads. And the pitch to Hirschfeld. He swings and hits it in the air down the right field line. A long run along the line, and the ball's going to be caught in foul territory by Braden Stover. That's the type of defense the Reds play. And the Bee Diggers are done here in the bottom of the second inning. No runs, no hits, an Eaton error, and 2 men left. The Bee Diggers have stranded 4 through 2 as we head to the third in this championship round of the 3A state tournament. Eaton 2, Brush nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Eaton 2, Brush nothing as we move to the third on a gorgeous Wednesday afternoon at Butch Butler Field in Greeley. It's an elimination game for Brush and a non-elimination game for the Reds, who are 4-0 in this double elimination tournament. And here comes the cleanup hitter, Joe Mondragon. He'll be followed by Sean Carson and Joe Kuhn, 4, 5, and 6 for Eaton. Mondragon grounded out on the right side in his first at bat, and the breaking ball is down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Rosenbrock delivers. Swung on and fisted on the ground on the left side. Gutierrez, the third baseman, throws to first in time, and Mondragon is out. Mikey G coming up with a nice play after yesterday he struggled with the errors, and he certainly was not happy after the game, but Made an excellent play to his left there on the ball, fisted down the line. Or up the left side, I should say. Here is Sean Carson. He's responsible for the 2 runs. It was a 2-strike, 2-out line drive over the second baseman, Trent Mount. The pitch, and the breaking ball is at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. Peterson lays down the sign. Here's pitch number 50 by Rosenbrock. Swung on and dribbled up the left side. Going to be a tough play. Picked up by Gutierrez. Throws to first on the run, and it hits the runner. And then Carson knocks into Hirschfeld, and the ball is loose in the infield. It's going to be a straight-up base hit, but Hirschfeld went down. And let me tell you, it's clear that Hirschfeld was in the way of the throw, as was Carson. But Carson looked like he pushed Hirschfeld. And now the umpires are convening. And, man, there's some yelling going on the Beat Diggers' side. There was a push. Carson did push. One thing is to collide with the first baseman when the ball, the runner, and the fielder all converge. But he pushed Hirschfeld as the ball made contact with Carson. Now the umpires are trying to determine a ruling. Well, if Carson's going to be safe, we'll see if that's called an error or not. A tough play for Gutierrez, though. I might just score that a base hit, considering that was a dribbler up the left side. But the throw is up the first base side. Now, if Carson just runs through and does not push Hirschfeld, then there's no discussion out there. And the 3 umpires are meeting to the right side of the mound from our vantage point behind the plate, trying to determine what the ruling is there. Hirschfeld obviously not happy about that. He went straight to his back. AC Ice proudly supports local high school sports throughout Northeast Colorado. When you need ice, don't settle for just any old frozen water. Get AC Ice, and they're calling him out at any local grocery or convenience store near you. Or did they call him out? I thought they did. Nope, he's going to be there. It's AC Ice. I thought I saw the umpire signal. I guess he was signaling that he stays at first. It'll be a base hit for Sean Carson. And there are Beat Digger fans that are enraged at that particular call. The throw was into the runner. The argument is not that he should be safe because the throw was into the runner. The argument is that Carson pushed the first baseman Hirschfeld when it seemed he didn't need to. And Kevin Fergus has had a conversation with a home plate umpire and now is jogging out to the first base umpire. So we could be here for a couple of minutes until the next pitch ensues. Farmer-owned with global connections is CHS Grainland. Find them online at grainland.coop. And, of course, let the State Farm Insurance Office of Greg Mullen and Brush help you find the best policy to fit your life, home, auto, life, and health. State Farm Insurance is there for you and your family. Give Greg Mullen a call, 842-4555. Here comes the home plate umpire. This could get a little bit ugly. Kevin Fergus is asking for an explanation. The first base umpire is well beyond the first base bag, and here comes the home plate umpire about 100 feet out from his post at home plate, and now the conversation ends. Nonetheless, the situation is as follows. 2-0 Eaton. Top of the third inning. 1 out, 1 on for Joe Kuhn. Kuhn, his first time up, singled into left center. Now we know that Carson is not a base running threat. Doesn't have the speed over there, so if Kuhn can hit the ball on the ground, we could get an inning-ending double play. The stretch by Rosenbrock. Long pause in the pitch, and that changeup is in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. The Bee Diggers are only being outscored 2-0, but being out hit 6-1. And the Reds have committed the game's only error. The offering. Fastball, a strike on the outer half, thigh high. And the count levels at 1-1. If the Bee Diggers win, they play another game about 20 minutes after this one. If they lose, the season is over. The pitch. Breaking ball is a beauty. Right down the middle. Again, thigh level. It's 1-2. To the right-handed hitting Eaton catcher, Joe Kuhn. Short lead for Carson. And the 1-2 pitch. Swung on line into right field for a base hit. And Walter comes on and throws it in quickly. Nearly overran the baseball. And again, Rosenbrock giving up a 2-strike base hit. And Kuhn, like Carson, is now 2 for 2. And that is hit number 7 for the Reds. That's as many hits as they had in 6 innings against Rosenbrock, and we're only in the third. There's Dalton Lind, who hit into a fielder's choice. The pitch, changeup, bounces in. 1 ball and no strikes. A critical moment in the game. The Reds are not a team that would blow a 4 or 5 run lead. 2 runs is certainly manageable, but right now, there's 2 on and 1 out. The offering. Changeup is low. 2 balls and no strikes. And you know that Lind is probably sitting on a fastball. Let's see if Rosenbrock unleashes the curveball. 2-0. Fastball is grounded right side. Hirschfeld dives. He cannot get it. It's a base hit. Carson to third. He's rounding third. The throw towards the plate. He slides. He's in there. It's an RBI single for Lind. And the Reds now lead 3-0 on that bouncer through the right side in the top of the third inning. Kevin Fergus out again. And that was just a seeing eye single. 3rd consecutive hit against Rosenbrock of the inning. There's Brady Tedesco, struck out looking his first time up. Well, at least one advantage the Bee Diggers have is that they're the visiting team in this game. The home team, I should say. Again, 2 on and 1 out, but now 1 across, with the Reds up 3-0. The pitch, swing and a miss, and a fastball above the letters. No balls and 1 strike to Tedesco. Rosenbrock stretches. Rosenbrock delivers. The bender is down and in. Count levels at 1-1. With J.T. Mossberg waiting to hit next. Kuhn off of second, Lind at first. The pitch, changeup, just a little bit low. Man, that barely missed. Ball 2, strike 1. Peterson lays down the sign. Rosenbrock acknowledges. The pitch, swing and a miss and a breaking ball. Count moves to 2-2 as that ball was out of the zone, down at around the ankles when Tedesco swung over the baseball. Rosenbrock looks back, and the 2-2 offering. Fastball just a little bit low. Man, that barely missed. And Rosenbrock has already thrown 62 pitches. And we're only in the third. Both pitchers have extended themselves. And there's no doubt that Eaton has got more depth with the pitching. That's why they're 25-0. 3-2 pitch. Curveball is high. And the bases are loaded as Tedesco walks, and there's trouble here. This is the number 9 hitter, and J.T. Mossberg, who struck out swinging his first time up. But you need a double play ground ball or a strikeout or a pop-up in the infield. You cannot fall behind more than 3-0. Even though there's plenty of baseball to play, Jake Vondy is now the runner at first base. And the Reds got off to that 2-0 lead in the first inning. So let's see if Rosenbrock, who thwarted a couple of threats in that 2-0 loss, can do it again here. Down by 3. Wind and pitch. The breaking ball is up and in. 1 ball and no strikes to Mossberg. And the offering. Fastball is low. Oh, this is getting ugly. 2-0. Now Kyle's got to come in with a money pitch. He's just got to throw a fastball down the middle or somewhere near the strike zone, even if Mossberg swings. The 2-0 swung on and fouled straight back. And he did. He challenged him down the middle, and Mossberg was underneath the baseball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Probably got to do it again. Peterson lays down the sign. 2-1 offering. Curveball is a strike. What a beautiful pitch on the inner half. At knee level, it's 2-2. Let's see if Rosenbrock can put him away right now. Out of the windup with the bases full of Reds. 2-2 offering. A swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt. And there's 2 down. Strikeout number 5 for Kyle Rosenbrock, but he's not out of the woods. Here's Lane Greiman, who has struck out and walked, the leadoff hitter in this Eaton lineup. And again, they've scored 2 of their 3 runs with 2 outs. The pitch, curveball, is a strike. No balls and 1 strike. And the difference between an out and a base hit is the difference between staying in the game and being out of the game. Rosenbrock with the 0-1. And the changeup bounces in, blocked beautifully by Peterson. The count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. Home of the $8.95 dinner menu during the week and the best prime rib on Friday and Saturdays. That's Atwood Steakhouse. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 in, 2 down, and the bases are loaded. 3-0 Eaton in the third, and Rosenbrock steps off. Yeah, this is pressure. The senior right-hander delivers. Changeup is down and in. And because the state tournament was extended a few days because of the weather, all of these seniors have already graduated. And the 2-1. Curveball is a strike on the inside corner. That froze Greiman. Again, 1 pitch away. But it's a big one. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Can Rosenbrock pick up his 2nd straight strikeout and his 6th of the game? Greiman steps out. And then Kyle's at 72 pitches. That is not good. Can't throw a complete game with that pace. 2-2 offering. Swing and a miss and a curveball. Down in the zone, and Kyle Rosenbrock is able to limit the Eaton Reds to a single run in the top of the 3rd inning on 3 hits, no errors, and they left the bases loaded. Eaton, through 2.5 innings, has stranded 7, but they lead Brush by a score of 3-0 as you are listening to the 2015 Colorado Class 3A State Tournament on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. We move to the bottom of the 3rd. Eaton 3, Brush nothing. In this elimination game for the Bee Diggers, who are 3-1 so far in this tournament, Eaton is 4-0. Eaton is the number 1 overall seed, 25-0, while the Bee Diggers are 18-6. It'll be the heart of the order, 2, 3, and 4. Baby Maltos Garcia, followed by Kyle Rosenbrock and Alec Peterson. Maltos Garcia grounded out his first time up. And he will now bat against the left-hander, Brady Tedesco. Stretch and pitch. Fastball tails down and away. Tedesco pitches at least 4, if not 5 innings. You know that Lane Greiman is going to come in and close this thing. That's what he's done throughout the course of the year in close games. 1-0 pitch. Swung on in line down the left field line. It's going to be trouble for Carson, and that ball's going to head all the way towards the fence. Cut off by Carson, but Matos Garcia's around first into second with a leadoff double here in the 3rd. And the Bee Diggers have their 2nd hit of the game, both doubles. The first one came from this hitter, Kyle Rosenbrock. And you would think that Coach Danley has got to pitch to him and not walk Rosenbrock, as he's done in many unconventional moments. Tedesco looks back, the stretch. Pitch to Rosenbrock, and the breaking ball is up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, you got to get a run out of this with your number 2 hitter already on base. Baby's got to be careful. That's a huge lead at second. 1-0 offering. Swung on and grounded foul up the third base side on the breaking ball. And the count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. Rominger Jewelry and Gifts is the leader in Northeast Colorado for diamonds, jewelry, watches, and expert in-store jewelry repairs for service, quality, and value. Shop Rominger's in downtown Sterling. Matos Garcia, he's got about a 7-step lead over there now, inching closer to the bag. And the 1-1. Swung on and foul behind the plate on another breaking ball thrown by Tedesco. Rosenbrock down in the count now at 1-2. And luckily the hit column is not as important as the run column because Brush only has 2 hits in the game. Man, Matos Garcia's got to watch out. He's taking huge leads out there. He's had nobody out. And his run doesn't mean as much as runs behind him. But he's a very smart base runner. And he's got to maintain that intelligence right here. Tedesco looks back. 1-2. Swung on and grounded left side and fielded by Griman at third. Throw to first is in time. Matos Garcia to third. The throw is going to be skipped into Griman, who got back to the bag. He was able to snag it. And Rosenbrock is out number 1. Griman made an excellent play in the hole, robbing Rosenbrock of a base hit. But the runner did move over. And here's Alec Peterson. Petey was hit by a pitch. His first time up. The infield is now playing halfway. They're not budging. They don't want the B-Diggers to score any runs, even though it's a 3-run lead. And the pitch to Petey. And the breaking ball is a strike. Just above thigh level, it's 0-1. Yeah, I'm surprised that Coach Danley's playing the infield even halfway. I mean, it's an explosive offense, but you've got the lead here. The stretch. And the pitch. And that is upstairs. Took something off it. That levels the count at 1-1. 3-0 Eaton over Brush in the bottom of the third inning with 1 out and a man at third. And Arnoldo Baby Matos Garcia, he led off the frame with a double. Tedesco stretches. Peterson awaits, and he swings and taps it foul up the third base side. Count is at 1-2. Eaton has had the momentum since the first inning when they plated 2 runs. The B-Diggers are just trying to get on the board and get some of that mo back. Kuhn lays down the sign. Tedesco stretches. And the offering. Swung on and popped up down the right field side into foul territory. Mondragon towards the fence. Cannot make the catch. I thought I was going to make that play. Instead, it remains at 1-2. And I'm telling you, if he makes that play, I think Baby would have tagged up because his momentum was going towards the fence. It would have been tough to score, but I think Coach Fergus probably would have sent him. You got to take chances against a team this good. You can't be overly conservative. Again, the infield playing halfway. 1-2 to Peterson. And the offering. Swung on and grounded. Foul down the third base side. Petey stays alive. Remains at 1-2. Tedesco will deliver his 50th pitch of the game. Coming up to Alec Peterson out of the stretch with a man at third. Tedesco comes home with a 1-2. And that is off the glove of Kuhn. Here comes Matos Garcia to the plate. He will score on the pass ball on the changeup. And the B-Diggers are on the board. It is 3-1 Eaton. Kuhn almost caught that like he was crossed up. And now it should be 2-2, yep, to Alec Peterson. They were clarifying the count over here, but it is correct. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now Petey can relax a little bit more. Doesn't have the pressure of driving in the run. The stretch by Tedesco, the pitch. And that is a changeup that is high. A scary take, but it worked out. 3-2. Tedesco delivers, and that is low. Another changeup. Third walk issued by Brady Tedesco, and Aaron Williams steps in. Now the B-Digger fans have got some hope. Again, they had to come away with at least a run. I mean, without question, you got to score a run in that situation, and they did. So here's Williams, who struck out his first time up. Out of the 5-hole with Nico Guzman unable to play due to illness. The pitch swung on and chopped foul up the third base side. No balls and 1 strike. Yeah, we're not even halfway through the game. We played over an hour. A lot of hitters have extended counts. No balls and 1 strike to Williams. Short lead at first for Petey. And the offering swung on and tapped foul right at the plate on another changeup. And the count moves to no balls and 2 strikes. Northeast Colorado's locally owned hometown savings and loan with locations in Fort Morgan, Sterling, and Brush. Equitable savings and loan with financial solutions for you. No balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, 1 on, 1 in. Tedesco looks over at first. And he comes home. Swung on and grounded left side. The shortstop Burkhardt backhands it. Long throw towards first is going to be late. It's an infield hit for Aaron Williams. And the B-Diggers have their second hit of the inning. First and second here in the bottom of the third for Zane Fowl, who lined out to the shortstop Burkhardt. So now the tying run is at first base. And again, we documented what Eaton has done in this tournament. They shut out Brush earlier. They shut out Gunnison, allowed a run against University. Now, yesterday they gave up 6 runs against Sterling, but that was a 13-3 game going into the last inning. Pitch squaring to bunt, and it's fouled up the first base side again. Just now one of Brush's strengths this year, and it's happening. No balls and 1 strike to foul. Let's see, we'll try it again. At second is Peterson. At first is Williams. No balls and 1 strike. To the right-handed hitting center fielder for Brush. The stretch by Tedesco. And the pitch swung on grounded foul up the third base side. Well, Tedesco's getting ahead of the hitters. But he's not putting them away necessarily. He's only retired 1 in this inning. No balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, Fowle's got to watch out for anything now. A changeup, a breaking ball since he's down in the count. And the 0-2. And that bounces away up the third base side. Petey goes to third, into second to slide, and in there is Williams on the wild pitch. And it only bounced away a couple of feet from Kuhn. But Brush was very aggressive on the bases. 1-2 to Zane Fowl. A base hit could tie the game. And now head coach Jim Danley calls time. And he will pay a visit to the hill. And a very deliberate walk before he talks to his pitcher. Find out why Morgan Community College is the best choice for your higher education. Visit MCC online at morgancc.edu or stop by the campus for a personal advising session. MCC, there to help you imagine your possibilities, believe in yourself, and achieve your goals. And that's it for Brady Tedesco. And we have seen Coach Danley do this on a number of occasions, take out a pitcher in the middle of a count. Let's take a 1-minute break. We're in the bottom of the third inning. And it's Eaton 3, Brush 1 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Well, Lane Greiman is being called upon earlier than usual. Certainly not going to close this game from this inning. Well, he could, actually. I mean, we remember that Mossberg in the championship game, another Mossberg did it. I believe he came in the third inning as well. in 2012, and Greiman certainly has the stuff. He did not pitch yesterday against Sterling. So he's in there with a 1-2 count. He goes from third to the mound. J.T. Mossberg goes from second to third. Braden Stover goes from right field to second, and Brady Tedesco goes from the mound to right field. So those are the changes here in the bottom of the third inning. Eaton holding a 3-1 lead, and Zane Fowles at the plate for the Bee Diggers. And Coach Danley likes to do this sometimes, even if his pitcher's ahead in the count. But it's a reason that Eaton has won 10 state championships all under the same coach and making their 20th state championship game appearance. Moves like this, which can throw off the opposition, and playing to your pitcher's strengths or your team's strengths. So foul in a 1-2 hole, and now facing the right-hander Greiman as opposed to the lefty Tedesco. Kuhn gets a sign from Coach Danley, the stretch. And he throw to second, and back in standing is Williams. Williams had none of that. Greiman out of the windup with second and third and one down. The pitch, swing and a miss, and a breaking ball down and away, and foul strikes out. And that's exactly why that strategy was implemented. 2 down, and Nico Guzman is going to hit. Guzman is going to hit in this situation unless they elect not to pitch to him. We'll see. Guzman did not start this game because of a stomach ailment, but now in a critical situation in the bottom of the third inning, he's going to bat here against Lane Greiman. And now let's see what's going to happen here. Coach Danley. Let's see. Are they going to walk him? They are going to walk him, and I had a feeling that was going to happen. Yep, I had a feeling that was going to happen. And Nico doesn't like it, but you know what? That's Eaton baseball. Here's Mikey Gutierrez. Not happy about it, but I'm telling you, Coach Danley does whatever it takes to win. Gutierrez walked his first time up, and the pitch, and he takes a fastball for a strike on the outer half at the knees. It's 0-1. Mikey G looking to deliver here. And the offering, swing and a miss on a changeup. Down in the count at 0-2. At third is Peterson. Williams at second. Guzman at first. And Greiman has got Mikey Gutierrez in an 0-2 hole. And the offering, the bender is down and away. And here comes Peterson to the plate, and he slides. Safe! He's in there! He got ahead of the tag! And Jim Danley is racing out to the home plate umpire, not agreeing with the call, but Peterson is called safe. It was a bang-bang play at the plate. And it's now 3-2. We'll call it a wild pitch. Very close. Yeah, that literally could have gone either way. And the Bee Diggers have scored, have stolen a run. So now Mikey up there with a 1-2 count as Peterson, with some very aggressive base running, barely got ahead of the tag of the catcher Kuhn, who was not far off home plate. And now Gutierrez calls time. Wow. He took a chance there, but it paid off for the Bee Diggers. Wind and pitch. Swung on and tapped foul up the third base side. And Gutierrez stays alive at 1-2. He's got to watch for the off-speed. You know they're going to try to throw him that off-speed pitch. Greiman ready. And the pitch. And that is down and away. Nice take by Gutierrez. Did throw that same pitch that Gutierrez swung and missed at earlier in the sequence. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Williams at third. Guzman at second. And 2 across here in the third. The offering. Swung on and tapped foul up the third base side again. And Gutierrez just extending the at-bat. And the count remains at 3-2. It's a brand new ball game. The Bee Diggers are to within one. Now, when they played in Brush last month, Brush was down 3-0 early and made it 3-3 before Eaton scored the next 3 runs and won 6-4. The pitch. And that is a called strike 3, a breaking ball right there down the middle. That ends the inning. However, the Bee Diggers scored 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. 3 complete from Greeley. Eaton 3, Brush 2 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Eaton 3, Brush 2 as we head to the top of the 4th inning. And Kyle Rosenbrock is out on the mound for the Bee Diggers once again. And in the 4th, he will face the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, so it's tough goings here for Rosenbrock. He's going to have a challenge with Ryan Kaler, Matt Burkhardt, and Joe Mondragon. But it's been the 6 and 7 hitters, or check that, the 5 and 6 hitters that have killed him. Sean Carson and Joe Kuhn have 4 of Eaton's 8 hits. Well, and then Kaler has 2 of the 8 hits as well. Kaler's pulled the ball both times into right field. Let's see if Rosenbrock keeps it away as Alec Peterson, the Bee Digger catcher, is motioning the defense to shade over to the right. Now, Nico Guzman is now in center, so he definitely feels a lot better, and Zane Fow is in right. Line and pitch upstairs, took something off it. Guys, a 1 ball and no strikes to Kaler, who's been very good against Rosenbrock, not only in this game, but had that solo home run in that 2-0 victory earlier in the tournament. The pitch, swing and a miss. He waved at it on the changeup, and the count levels at 1-1. That's kind of like the same wave he had earlier in the game that was called a ball. But I'll get off of that for now. And there's some activity in the right field bullpen for Eaton. 1-1 pitch. Curveball is up and away. Moves the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. The Bee Diggers need a win to play another game today. And they need to win 2 to win the 3A title, the offering. Curveball is up and away. 3 balls and 1 strike to Ryan Kaler to begin the 4th inning for the Reds. And now Kaler calls time. And Eaton is a team that will feast on that leadoff walk. That's why Kyle's got to come through right now and do what he can to retire this hitter, at least throw a strike. 3-1 offering. Curveball is a strike on the outer half. Thigh high. It's now 3-2. The problem is with these deep pitch counts, he might have 2 innings left, maybe 3, which would get him through the 6th. And the 3-2. And he bounces in the changeup. The ball is going to bounce away from Peterson, I should say, but he flags it down. It's a walk. Matt Burkhardt has singled and struck out. And now we'll have a courtesy runner at first, I believe. Although I didn't see, no, Kaler's in there. No courtesy runner. I don't know why we would have one. Kaler's got plenty of speed. Burkhardt officially at 1 for 2, the stretch. Rosenbrock comes home, and he bounces in another changeup. Yeah, he wants to get ahead of the hitter, but not looking sharp with that pitch. 1 ball and no strikes. Jacob Thiessen really struggled with his command yesterday against Eaton in a 13-6 loss. 1-0. Down and away with a fastball. 2 balls and no strikes. Now you wonder, does he have to give in a little bit? Doesn't want to do it, but falling behind after issuing his 3rd walk of the game. 2-0. Swung on, grounded left side for a base hit. To second is Kaler. Hit number 9 against Rosenbrock for the Reds. That ball wasn't hit hard, but chopped right between short and third. And there's Joe Mondragon, who's going to be due in this game. He's grounded out twice, once to first and once to third, and he's way too good of a hitter to be held in check. Rosenbrock has to come up with a money pitch. And with Carson and Kuhn behind him, Brush is in trouble once again. The offering. Changeup is down and away. And Rosenbrock all of a sudden has fallen behind the hitters in this inning. 1 ball and no strikes. And the pitch. Fastball is down and in. That was pitch number 83. Here comes Peterson. 2-0. And it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that if Rosenbrock cannot pitch at least 5 or 6 innings, the B-Diggers have very little chance of winning this game. They got to stick with their ace here. But normally you wouldn't extend a high school pitcher beyond 120, 125 pitches with full rest. And Rosenbrock did throw yesterday, but only to 1 hitter. 2 balls and no strikes, 3-2. Eaton with the lead in the top of the 4th inning. Nobody out, though. And Joe Mondragon from the left side awaits the 2-0. Fastball on the inside corner just above the knees. It's a strike. Spotted perfectly. It's 2-1. Rosenbrock gets a sign from Peterson. He stretches. 2-1 pitch. Changeup is down and away. 3-1. Well, Rosenbrock in this tournament did have the bases loaded against him. I believe that was in the 4th inning, and then struck out the side in order. So it wouldn't be a brand new situation. Fastball is a strike on the outside corner. 3-2 to Joe Mondragon. Another key pitch coming up by the senior right-hander, Kyle Rosenbrock. The runners take their leads. And time is called. Rosenbrock steps off. Yeah, there's a solid possibility that by the time the inning is over, Rosenbrock will have eclipsed 100 pitches in the game. Rosenbrock looks back. 3-2 to Mondragon. Fastball down and in. He walks him. And the bases are loaded for Sean Carson, who has singled twice. Can Rosenbrock pull another one out of the hat? At this point, you've got to allow no more than a run. You don't want to give up the 2 runs you just scored. Looks like the B-Diggers will play the infield halfway. Well, now Matos Garcia ranging back at short. Let's see if Rosenbrock goes to the windup with the bases full. And he will. And now the infield, again, playing halfway. They're not playing completely in. Wine in the pitch to Carson. And the breaking ball is over but low. That's the 4th consecutive hitter that Rosenbrock has thrown ball 1 to. Wine and pitch. Swung on and fouled back. One with a fastball tailing away. Count levels at 1-1. 3-2 Eaton, but they can break the game wide open here in the 4th inning. And the 1-1. Curveball is grounded up the middle of the shortstop. Matos Garcia goes home. And did he get the force? Yes! Out at the plate is Kaler. Peterson caught it down to his right knee, and his foot was on home plate, and there's 1 down. Fielder's choice, 6-2. A tremendous play on a throw that was nearly off target. So 1 down. And now the batter is Kuhn. Kuhn has singled twice. Now the infield is playing back for the double play. Rosenbrock shakes off a sign. Now accepts. Wine and pitch. Fastball is up and away. 5th consecutive hitter he's fallen behind. 1 ball and no strikes. He just cannot find strike 1. And that was pitch number 91. Kyle ready. 1-0. Fastball, a strike at the knees. Down the middle, it's 1-1. Oh, I'd love a bouncer right back to Rosenbrock. Start a 1-2-3. And the B-Diggers would have all the momentum. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball is high. And Kyle just cannot snap him off consistently. He's frustrated with himself. Ball 2, strike 1. Kuhn out of the 6-hole. The pitch. And that curveball is low. Did he swing? No. They appealed to first, 3-1, but it was clearly low. Now Rosenbrock's got to come in with a fastball. You got no choice right now. You can't afford ball 4 if not it scores a run. 3-1 pitch. Swinging it right by him. And Kuhn took a huge swing. What pitch will he go with now? 3-2. And the offering. Swing and a miss! On a pitch on the inside corner, tied him up with a fastball. There's 2 down. Okay, can he do this again? Can he do it again? Here's Dalton Lind, a fielder's choice in a single. Lind is 1 for 2. Before he steps inside the box, he'll speak with his head coach, Jim Danley. So the bases were loaded with nobody out. Now they're loaded with 2 down. With Eaton leading 3-2. Can he complete this shutdown of Eaton in the 4th inning? At third is Mondragon. Check it. At third is Burkhardt. At second is Mondragon. Carson at first. The wind and the pitch to Lind. And the breaking ball. I think he waved at it and missed it. Yep. The ball in the dirt. It's 0-1. Now Rosenbrock, for the first time in the inning, gets ahead of the hitter. Rosenbrock ready. The wind and the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and tapped over the pitcher to the second baseman. Mounts. He'll throw to first on the run. In time! And the Beat Diggers get out of the jam. The bases were loaded with nobody out. And Kyle Rosenbrock gets out of a major jam. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the bases were left loaded, and Eaton has stranded 10 through 4 innings. Let's head to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's Eaton 3, Brush 2 on 1010 KSLR and KSLR.com. Well, this could have been a 5 or 6 or 7-2 game after 3.5, but the Beat Diggers are only down 3-2. Some clutch pitching and some good infield defense by the Beat Diggers. And they're still within a run in the bottom of the 4th inning. 9-1-2 against the right-hander, the sidewinder, Lane Griman, Grayson Simmons, B.J. Hirschfeld, and Arnoldo Matos Garcia. The pitch, swing and a miss on a changeup. Simmons way out in front. He struck out his first time up. It's 0-1. G-Man's got to sit back a little bit more in the zone. Wind and offering. Boy, he swung and missed, and he looked terrible. That was awful. He missed that by a mile. Pitch down and away. No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. He missed that one by a mile. Way out in front of the changeup. That might be the worst I've seen Grayson Simmons look all season. Struck out on 3 pitches and wasn't close to hitting any of them. There's B.J. Hirschfeld. With 1 down in the bottom of the 4th. The pitch. Fastball, a strike. On the inner half, it's 0-1. Hirschfeld is 0 for 1, walked and popped out. Down and away with a breaking ball. Count moves to 1 ball and 1 strike. And Griman works very quickly as opposed to Tedesco, who likes to take a little bit more time. The pitch. Swung on, grounded up the middle. Second baseman to his right. Stover throws to first in time. And B.J. Hirschfeld is out number 2. 2 down for Matos Garcia, who grounded out, then doubled and scored in the 2-run 3rd inning. And all of a sudden, this game, which was slowing down for a while, is starting to pick up the pace with Rosenbrock retiring 3 in a row, and now Griman getting the first 2 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Wind and pitch, and that is right over the middle for a strike with a fastball. It's 0-1. Matos Garcia digs in. And the pitch swung on in line down the left field line, but drifting foul, I should say, and it's 0-2. My pronunciation was as ugly as that ball sounded off the bat. It tied him up. No balls and 2 strikes. Bailey Mechanical Heating and Air Conditioning at 522-0471. They can take care of any need depending upon what season it is. Bailey Mechanical Heating and Air Conditioning. 0-2 pitch. That is right there. A strike down the middle with a fastball. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Lane Greiman. 4 complete in Greeley. Eaton 3, Brush 2. This is the 2015 Colorado Class 3A tournament on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Let's head to the top of the 5th inning from Butch Butler Field in Greeley in this championship round, the final day of the Colorado High School sports season for 2014-2015. And in this 3A game, it's the Eaton Reds 3, the Brush Bee Diggers 2, and Eaton victory gives them their 11th championship. A Brush win will send them to another game for the state title. As Eaton is 4-0 and Brush is 3-1 in this double elimination state tournament. It will be the bottom of the order. Brady Tedesco and J.T. Mossberg, followed by Lane Greiman, the number 1 hitter in this lineup, against Kyle Rosenbrock, who is 98 pitches deep and squares to bunt, bunts it up the third base side. Gutierrez first, and in time, Tedesco is out. What a play by Mikey G, and there's one down in the 5th inning. That's an all-star play by the third baseman, who anticipated it beautifully and threw him out. And nice to do that on 1 pitch. Here's J.T. Mossberg. The pitch, and the breaking ball is a strike on the inner half. 1 ball and no strikes. Mossberg has struck out twice. And the offering swung on and fouled off to the right. 0-2. That was pitch number 101. That's why he's got to do this quickly in this inning. Then you can extend it to the 6th and maybe the 7th with some luck. The pitch swung on and fouled off the catcher's glove. Count remains at 0-2. Here to J.T. Mossberg. Rosenbrock has battled this afternoon in Greeley. Peterson lays down the sign. And the pitch. Swing and a miss and a ball in the dirt. Peterson will pick it up. He'll throw high, but coming down on the bag is Hirschfeld. And there's 2 down. Strikeout number 6 for Kyle Rosenbrock. And here is Lane Greiman hitting from the right side. That's 3 strikeouts of that hitter. And the breaking ball is a strike. No balls and 1 strike. There to Greiman. Now the 8th strikeout. Swung on and lifted into deep left field. Going back is Simmons. Simmons towards the track, still going back. And it's off the bottom of the fence. And Greiman into second, headed for third, but he'll go back. It's a 2-out double. Yeah, Rosenbrock, 8 strikeouts, not 6. That was erroneous on my part. And that'll bring up Ryan Kaler. Man, Greiman gave that a ride. I thought the ball was going to leave the ballpark. So Rosenbrock has eclipsed the number of strikeouts he had in his last outing against Eaton, but again has given up 1 more run. Now the Reds are looking for some 2-out thunder. Ryan Kaler for the left side is 2 for 2. He singled twice and walked. And you could elect to walk him, but then you got Burkhart sitting there. Let's see what they decide to do. Yep, they're going to walk him intentionally. And that's the move. You got to do it. You have to do it. if you're head coach Kevin Fergus. Matt Burkhardt, though, is 2 for 3, singled twice and struck out. And let's see, I'm not sure what Coach Danley is talking to the home plate umpire. And now with his shortstop Burkhardt. With 2 on and 2 down in the top of the 5th inning. Eaton is in the lead by a score of 3-2. Live in your world and learn in ours. For more information about Northeastern or classes available to you, go to njc.edu. Another critical situation for Rosenbrock. The stretch. And the pitch to Burkhardt. And the breaking ball is a strike on the inside corner. It is 0-1. Keep in mind that the Bee Diggers have stranded 6, but Eaton has stranded 10. And there's 2 more sitting out there. And the pitch. And the changeup is in the dirt. Levels the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Do you take a chance and try to sneak a fastball by Burkhardt? Because he can destroy those pitches. Griman off of second. Kaler at first. The stretch by Rosenbrock. And now he steps off. And Rosenbrock at 111 pitches. He definitely does not have 7 innings in him today. I would doubt that. The pitch swung on and fouled to the backstop on the breaking ball. 1-2. To Matt Burkhardt. If the Bee Diggers get to the next game, B.J. Hirschfeld would start. So I think they'd go with Jaron Peterson. Peterson would be pitching in this spot for Rosenbrock. I think that's the plan, but we'll see. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Petey lays down the sign. The stretch. Pitch to Burkhardt. Swing and a miss and a ball in the dirt. Peterson is tagged. Yeah, he tagged him out. The umpire motioned that the tag was completed before, and Peterson didn't have to throw the ball to first. So strikeout number 9, and Kyle Rosenbrock dodges yet another bullet. Incredible. In the inning for the Reds, they do not score. They pick up a hit, no errors, and 2 men left. Let us head to the bottom of the 5th inning. The score, Eaton 3, Brush 2 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Kyle Rosenbrock will lead off the bottom of the 5th inning against Lane Griman. Eaton lead 3-2. So Rosenbrock picks up the hit. We lost you there for a second, but Kyle Rosenbrock with an infield hit on a grounder to short. Here to begin the bottom of the 5th inning. That'll send up Alec Peterson. So the Bee Diggers have the leadoff man on. And that's the tying run as well. Over at first base. By the way, Rosenbrock officially at 109 pitches. We said 111 earlier. That is swung on, drilled deep to left field, way back, and that ball's off the bottom of the fence. Rosenbrock is around third. Rosenbrock being sent home. It's an RBI double for Alec Peterson, and we're all tied at 3 in Greeley. And now it's a brand new ball game between the Bee Diggers and the Eaton Reds as Petey nearly went deep against Lane Griman. And here comes Jim Danley. Now let's see if a change is going to be made. Aaron Williams is due up here for the Bee Diggers in the bottom of the 5th inning. And Williams is 1 out of 2. A strikeout and an infield single. Yeah, there's a lot of experience on this Brush team. They know record-wise they're not at the same level that Eaton is, 18-6 versus 25-0. But that means nothing in a game like this. The Bee Diggers were down 3-0, and now they've tied the game at 3. Still nobody out. And Aaron Williams will step in. And once again, Alec Peterson, who's been clutch all season, comes through. Keep in mind that Petey had 7 home runs coming into this game. So Aaron Williams now bats, and the pitch is low. 1 ball and no strikes. Joe Kuhn lays down the sign. Greiman stretches. Greiman delivers. Swung on, lined, and caught by the second baseman. Throw to second is late. Stover makes the catch. Williams did a nice job trying to advance Peterson and go the other way, but it was caught on a line, and there's 1 down. Here's Zane Fow, who's lined out and struck out. Fow is at 0 for 2 in the game. And Fow really is due. Stretch and pitch. Swung on and tapped down the third baseline, but it's off the batter's foot. No balls and 1 strike. As we mentioned, Fow yesterday was 1 out of 1 in 4 plate appearances. But even that one was an infield hit. And Zane, prior to that in the tournament, was 0 out of 8. So he's only hitting 111. And that was going into today. Now 1 out of 11. Before he was hitting 111. So anyway, I think we clarified that. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on, 1 in. In the bottom of the 5th inning, Brush 3, Eaton 3. With the B-Diggers looking for their first lead of the game. Kuhn gets the sign from the dugout and head coach Jim Danley. Greiman with a long pause and the pitch. Swung on and lifted into shallow left center field. Carson comes on. He's got to field it on a hop. Peterson to third. The throw is coming towards the plate on 1 hop as Peterson holds up. And Zane Fow has delivered his 2nd hit of the state tournament. And now it is 1st and 3rd here for Nico Guzman. And again, Guzman did not start this game because of an ailment. He was intentionally walked his first time up. Now Guzman hitting in the spot that he wants to hit in, with a chance to drive in a run. Greiman gets the sign, and now time is called. Now you wonder if the B-Diggers take the lead. Is Rosenbrock going to insist on going the distance, even though he's got 2 more innings to deal with the Eaton hitters? Throw back to first, and back in diving is Foul. Well, a game of this magnitude should be this good. Brush all of a sudden is racking up some hits. That is their 6th. The pitch. And that's in the dirt. Skips away. Here comes Petey. He will score on the wild pitch. And the B-Diggers now lead 4-3. And the second is Foul. And now you've got Guzman up there, an RBI guy, the leading hitter on this team this season. And that's twice that Peterson has scored on a wild pitch with that aggressive base running. The stretch, and he throw back to second, back in diving is Foul. Now the Reds just doing anything to get an out. So Brush has claimed the lead for the first time in the game. The offering down and away with a breaking ball. The count is at 2-0 to Nico Guzman. A 1-run lead will obviously not suffice. B-Diggers need a lot more against a very potent offense. Time is called. And Guzman in a hitter's count. And the pitch. That's a strike with that side-winding changeup on the outer half. Ball 2, strike 1 to Nico Guzman, the right-handed hitting center fielder. And the offering. Breaking ball foul to the screen. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The B-Diggers, for the second time in the last 3 innings, have 2 across and have a 4-3 lead on the Reds. Off of second is foul, and the pitch low with a fastball down and in. 3-2. Greiman gets a sign. Nico ready, and the offering. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball. Guzman strikes out. There's 2 down. That'll send up Mikey Gutierrez.
Number 16, Mikey Gutierrez.
Gutierrez walked and struck out. The stretch by Greiman, the pitch. Down and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Off of second once again is foul. And Gutierrez waits the 1-0, and time is called. That would have been a strike, and it's a balk instead, as Greiman did not come to a stop. So the balk sends Zane Fow to third. And now head coach Jim Danley going to pay a visit to the hill. I think he's just going to talk to his pitcher. Or no, he's motioning for the umpire. Definitely motioning for the umpire because he wants Greiman to stay in the game. So the count is at 1 ball and no strikes. 2 across, a man at third. 4-3 brush over Eaton in the bottom of the 5th inning. Yeah, Mikey G could almost lay one down. He's got so much speed. The third baseman, Mossberg, is 5 steps behind the bag. Wind and pitch. Swing and a miss on that sweeping bender. Slider makes it 1-1. I think I might have said 0-1. It's now 1-1. Gutierrez awaits. Long pause. Out of the wind, the offering. And that is a strike as well. Another curveball. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Mikey Gutierrez. Time is called. Kuhn lays down the sign, the pitch. And did he wave at it? He did on that breaking ball. And Gutierrez strikes out. And that does it for the B-Diggers in the 5th inning. However, Brush has claimed the lead. 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and a man left. Let's head to the 6th from Butch Butler Field in Greeley. Brush 4, Eaton 3 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Unofficially 109 pitches for Kyle Rosenbrock as we head to the 6th inning. Brush B-Diggers lead the Eaton Reds 4-3 as Eaton was up early 3-0 with 2 runs in the first and 1 in the third, but the B-Diggers rebounded with 2 in the bottom of the third and 2 in the 5th. Joe Mondragon will lead off, followed by Sean Carson and Joe Kuhn. Mondragon has grounded out twice and walked. He is sitting at 0 for 2 in the game. And Mondragon's normally a guy that is not shut down an entire game. Very difficult to retire, but Rosenbrock has done it on 2 of 3 occasions today. 65 strikes, 44 balls for Rosenbrock. And the pitch swung on and fouled back, and Rosenbrock is ahead in the count, which is something he failed to do for much of that 4th inning when the bases were loaded, and then he retired the side in order without allowing a run. No balls and 1 strike. The pitch, swing and a miss on a bender down and around the ankles. No balls and 2 strikes. Rosenbrock has 9 strikeouts in the game. He's ahead. He can't throw anything too hittable. 0-2 pitch. Curveball is down and in. Count moves to 1-2 to Joe Mondragon. Eaton has lost the state championship game 2 years in a row. They won it over Brush in 2012. Here's the wind and pitch. Swing and a miss and a curveball down and in. One down in the sixth inning. Strikeout number 10 for Kyle Rosenbrock. Here's Sean Carson, who singled twice and hit into a fielder's choice. Oh, he's 2 for 3. Had a 2-run single in that first inning to get Eaton on the board. Wind and pitch. Curveball is over but low. Ooh. Looked pretty good from here, but it missed. 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the wind and offering. Fastball. Where did that miss? Inside, I guess. Man. Can that strike zone get any tighter? It's 2-0. That must have missed by a millimeter. And if Carson gets on, more than likely he'll have a courtesy runner for him. Both pitches missed by an inch maybe. Swung on, lined foul down the right field line on the fastball down the middle. Rosenbrock had to give in with the strike zone tightening up here. 2 balls and 1 strike. 1 down, nobody on at the top of the 6th inning. And the B-Diggers lead the Eaton Reds 4-3. Brush is playing for a chance to play 1 more game to determine the 3A championship. Eaton is playing for the state title in this game. But if they lose, they have another shot. 2-1. Curveball is up and in. 3 balls and 1 strike. Pitch number 117 was thrown there by Rosenbrock. And he's down in the count with Joe Kuhn on deck. 3-1 offering. And that fastball is low. Walk number 6 issued by Rosenbrock. Now let's see if Carson gets a courtesy runner. And I expect him to get a courtesy runner here late in the game. We've seen that before. And I think that's going to be the case. Let's see if Coach Danley calls for the courtesy runner. He does. It'll be Zeke Haas out there. We are just shy of the top of the hour. This is Brush B-Digger Baseball and State Playoff Baseball on 1010 KSIR. Brush, Fort Morgan, Yuma, and KSIR.com. I'm John Beltran, live from Butch Butler Field in Greeley, where the B-Diggers have rallied from a 3-0 deficit and lead the Eaton Reds with 1 on and 1 down in the top of the 6th inning. It's a 4-3 Brush advantage, and Joe Kuhn, who has singled twice and struck out, is now the hitter. He's the number 6 hitter in this lineup. And Haas has got some speed over there. Let's see if they send him. The stretch by Rosenbrock. Pitch to Kuhn. Changeup is in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. And now Peterson is banged up. Getting up slowly. I think Rosenbrock might want a new baseball. Let's see. No, they're just waiting for Peterson to make sure he's okay. Peterson has played one heck of a game behind the plate. And, of course, he's got that big double that tied the game at 3. 1 ball and no strikes to Joe Kuhn. Now, this could be a good rest for Rosenbrock. I think after he walked Carson, it was a good idea for him to take some time here in between pitches. Let's see if that settles him in. 1-0. Fastball runs inside. And again, Rosenbrock getting himself into a hole. 2 balls and no strikes. Another nail biter for the B-Diggers in the state tournament. The stretch. 2-0 pitch. Fastball is outside. 3-0. One thing is to beat yourself. And that's what might be happening here if Rosenbrock can not rally here with a 3-0 to Joe Kuhn. Fastball is high on pitch number 122. 2 free passes, and here's Dalton Lind, who has hit into a fielder's choice, singled and grounded out. And Rosenbrock's numbers are all over the place. 10 strikeouts and 7 walks. And now the tying run is at second base. The go-ahead run is at first. Hopefully Rosenbrock, he's a hoss, but is he running out of gas? The pitch. Breaking ball is a strike down the middle. No balls and 1 strike. To Dalton Lind. And the offering. And the bender is down and away. Levels the count at 1-1. Off of second is Haas. Joe Kuhn is at first. And that might be a courtesy run over there for him as well. The stretch and the pitch. And that is a changeup for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Oh, that is Kuhn at first. 1-2. Rosenbrock looks back. And the pitch to Lind. Swung on and tapped foul to the backstop. Barely stays alive. High Plains Bank offers a wide variety of products that can be customized to fit your individual needs. See what over a century of customer service can do for you at High Plains Bank in Wiggins. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Rosenbrock stretches. And the pitch to Dalton Lind. Fastball called. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Strikeout number 11 for Rosenbrock, and there's 2 down. 2 down for Tedesco, who struck out, walked, and bunted into an out. He is 0 for 2, hitting out of the 8-hole. And if you get him, you start the 7th with Mossberg, who has struggled today. Rosenbrock in another jam. The stretch and the pitch. Fastball is low. Actually took something off of that. Man, this is incredible. Eaton has stranded 12 base runners through 5 innings. They have just blown so many opportunities, but Rosenbrock has made the pitches. 1-0. Outside with a fastball. 2-0. I don't think they're pitching around Tedesco, because if not, you deal with the top of the order at some point. Sooner than later. Tedesco awaits the 2-0 pitch, and Rosenbrock steps off the rubber. Two walks have been issued in the inning. Will the Reds make the Bee-Diggers pay as Eaton trails by 1? 2-0 pitch. Breaking ball is a strike on the inner half. It is 2-1 on pitch number 130, thrown by Kyle Rosenbrock. The runners take their leads. Rosenbrock steps off again. Man, I think he wants to finish this game, but are the coaches going to let him? Are they going to let him? That's the question. First, you got to get this out. Rosenbrock looks back. The pitch swung on line foul off to the left. The count moves to 2-2 on Brady Tedesco. Again, 1 pitch away from getting out of a jam. Rosenbrock has responded so many times in the game. Gutierrez now playing back at third to allow a little bit more range. Same with Matos Garcia at short. And the 2-2. That is you got to be kidding me. Oh, that pitch was right there. Looked like should have been a called strike 3 on a breaking ball. It is called a ball. I mean, that is terrible. And Rosenbrock was off the mound. How is that not called a strike? That is ridiculous. 3-2. Oh, if this cost the Bee-Diggers. Oh, jeez. Rosenbrock looks back. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Wow. Well, that's justice. Strikeout number 12 for Rosenbrock. He threw a breaking ball that was in the dirt. For the Reds in the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left. They've stranded 14 through 6 innings. We head to the bottom of the 6th. It's Brush 4, Eaton 3 on 1010 KSLR and KSLR.com. Let's head to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Bee-Diggers have a 4-3 lead against Eaton. It'll be Grayson Simmons, B.J. Hirschfeld, and Baby Matos Garcia, and Grayson's really got to make some adjustments here. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. And the last time he was up, he struck out on 3 pitches against this right-hander, Lane Greiman. And what can you say about Kyle Rosenbrock throwing clutch pitch after clutch pitch? Here's the wind and offering. Way outside on that side winding delivery. It's 1-0. The G-man from the left side as the Bee Diggers are looking for some insurance. The pitch down and in. 2 balls and no strikes. Rosenbrock has struck out 12 in the game. I think I keep losing count. He's been so effective. 2 balls and no strikes. He had 7 against Eaton in that 2-0 loss earlier. 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss out in front of the changeup. It's 2-1. Simmons awaits. The right-hander delivers. Swung on and grounded to short. Burkhardt is right there. He fields. He fires to first. There's 1 down as Grayson Simmons is retired. That'll send a B.J. Hirschfeld who's walked, popped out, and grounded out. He is 0 for 2 in the game. The Bee Diggers trailed throughout until the bottom of the 5th inning when they tallied the 2 runs, taking the lead on a wild pitch from Griman, scoring Alec Peterson, who tied the game with a double, which plated Kyle Rosenbrock. The pitch swung on and grounded left side, a diving attempt, fielded at short by Burkhardt, long through the first, in time. What a play by Burkhardt. He was a step into the grass after the third baseman Mossberg could not get to the ball, and Burkhardt with a bullet throw retires Hirschfeld for out number 2. That is just outstanding defense by Burkhardt. Here's baby Matos Garcia, grounded out, doubled, and struck out. He is 1 for 3 in the game. Yeah, the question going into the 7th, is Rosenbrock going to finish the game? Wind and pitch, and that is down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 to Matos Garcia. Baby digs back in, and the offering. Swung on and tapped foul. Off to the left side, the count levels at 1-1. The Bee Diggers, after the 91 championship, have 1 victory over Eaton since the beginning of the 92 season. That happened in the state tournament 3 years ago. The wind and the pitch. The breaking ball is off the glove of Kuhn. 2 balls and 1 strike. And on deck is Rosenbrock. And if Matos Garcia can just get on. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and fisted slowly on the ground on the right side. The pitcher Griman will sidearm to first, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Lane Griman here in the bottom of the 6th inning. All right, let's head to the 7th with the score. Brush 4, Eaton 3. You are listening to the 2015 State Baseball Championships from Greeley, Colorado on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Kyle Rosenbrock at 133 pitches is going to try to finish this off. 9-1-2. J.T. Mossberg, Lane Griman, and Ryan Kaler. The Bee Diggers have the lead by a score of 4-3. Mossberg has struck out all 3 times. 3 of the 12 strikeouts generated by Rosenbrock. If the Bee Diggers hold on, they will play for the state title. About 20 to 25 minutes after this game is concluded. They'll have to re-groom the field a little bit. And then the head coaches will have to set the lineups, the pitch, and the breaking ball's in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes, but 3 outs is going to be very difficult to get. Or did he swing? He did. Oh, they appealed to first, and it's called a strike. Here's the wind and offering. That is a strike with a fastball at the knees. And the count is at 0-2. Rosenbrock has 12 strikeouts in the game. And did he wave at that one? Nope. On that breaking ball in the dirt. The count is at 1-2 strikes to J.T. Mossberg to lead off the top of the 7th inning. Rosenbrock ready. The wind, the pitch, swung on and fouled off to the right. Yeah, just because Mossberg has struck out 3 times, don't think this guy's not going to battle. There's no doubt that all these Reds can hit. 1-2. And Mossberg calls time, and getting that first out can be very difficult, just as it is getting the last out. 1-2. Wind and pitch in the dirt with a changeup. Ball 2, strike 2. Mossberg trying to work out a walk, and Rosenbrock has issued 7 of those. Kyle ready. 2-2 pitch. Low with a fastball. It is 3-2. And you got some of the better hitters coming up. That was pitch number 139 for Rosenbrock. 3 balls, 2 strikes. He was ahead 0-2. The pitch, and he bounces it in. It's a walk to begin the 7th on pitch number 140. And here's Lane Griman, who struck out twice, walked, and doubled. Oh, so close, but yet oh so far with a 1-run lead. Griman officially in the game is at 1 for 3. Now let's see if Griman attempts to bunt the runner over. Rosenbrock ready. Short lead at first. Squaring to bunt. And the pitch. And did he wave at it? They're going to appeal at first, and he did. He waved at the bunt. No balls and 1 strike. Mossberg with a short lead. Let's see if they try it again. Rosenbrock gets the sign. Rosenbrock delivers. Fastball is on the outside corner. It's strike 2. Threw that one belt high. No balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, Griman has struck out every other time. Strikeout, walk, strikeout, double. How about a strikeout? This would be number 13. And the 0-2 pitch. Down and away with a breaking ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes, but he was ahead of Mossberg 0-2. You got to finish these hitters off. But Rosenbrock right now is running on adrenaline. Still throwing hard, but man, it's tough to get through 7 innings against this team. The stretch. And the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball is high. That levels the count at 2-2. And the Reds like to scratch out every single at-bat. Rosenbrock with a 2-2 pitch. Ooh, the changeup is down and away. He thought he'd get Griman chasing. This is the 2nd consecutive hitter. Rosenbrock was ahead 0-2. And now the 2nd straight hitter, it's 3-2. We're in the 7th. Brush leads 4-3. The stretch and the offering. That is a called strike 3! Fastball outside corner. Out number 1 in the 7th. Strikeout number 13. Here's Ryan Kaler, who singled twice and has walked twice, so he's been on base all 4 times. And he will now hit. And he's really not much of a double play threat because he's pretty fast. He's got the speed, and so does Mossberg at first. Rosenbrock gets the sign from Peterson. The stretch. And the pitch. Changeup is up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. What a game. 13 strikeouts and 8 walks. And he's allowed 10 hits. And he's thrown 147 pitches. But he's still going at it. Because this is it. He's a senior. He's already graduated. And the 1-0. Breaking ball is grounded to first. And throwing to second is Hirschfeld. And in tag, did he step on the bag? Are they going to call that foul? The home plate umpire. Let's see, the home plate umpire had a different indication. Hirschfeld threw to second. Did he step on the bag and then throw to second for the force out? There's some confusion. The home plate umpire might have waved that off. Let's see what happened there. It looked like it was clearly fair. And let's see the call that the home plate umpire made. Did he call that foul? I think he called it foul. It's a foul ball, even though Hirschfeld stepped on the bag through to second and Matos Garcia applied the tag. It would have been a game-ending double play. And the B-Diggers were coming out of the dugout celebrating. Instead, the game is extended, and we can't really tell from here whether that ball was fair or foul. I mean, we can assume it was fair based on the way the B-Diggers are reacting. But it was called foul right along the first baseline. And Hirschfeld did step on the bag and throw to second where Matos Garcia applied the tag. But the home plate umpire waved it off. He called a foul ball. And that gives Eaton new life. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. The B-Diggers were celebrating the victory, but not to be. The stretch. Rosenbrock delivers. And the bender hits Kaler in the left foot, I believe. Yep. Hit him in the foot. Now it's first and second. Here's Matt Burkhardt, who singled, struck out, singled, and struck out. Man, this game is going to end with a bit of controversy now. This game is going to end with a bit of controversy unless the B-Diggers win it. If the B-Diggers lose this game, the outrage that is going to come from the Brush side based on that call. And again, I cannot from this angle definitively say whether that ball was fair or foul hit by Kaler to Hirschfeld. It was right along the first baseline. All we know is that Hirschfeld made the play instantaneously. So here is Burkhardt. 2 on, 1 out, 4-3 Brush. Here comes pitch number 150 from Kyle Rosenbrock. Here it is. Breaking ball is tapped foul. No balls and 1 strike. What a game. What a game here in Greeley. A game that has lasted 2 hours and 21 minutes, and we still have 2 more outs to get and maybe more if the Reds can tie the game or take the lead. Peterson lays down the sign. Looking back, Rosenbrock. Pitch to Burkhardt. Breaking ball swung on, grounded to the shortstop. Matos Garcia to second for 1. Throw to first is going to be offline. The force goes 6-4. Nice job of Hirschfeld coming off the bag. And there's 2 down. Mossberg to third. And now Joe Mondragon will step in. Mondragon is 0 for 3. He's grounded out, walked, and struck out. And are they going to walk him? I think they're going to walk him to get to... They're going to walk him to get to Sean Carson. Well, Rosenbrock has nowhere to put him. He's thrown 151 pitches. Carson has singled twice, including a 2-run single the first, hit into a fielder's choice and walked. This is the game right now for both the B-Diggers and the Reds. And it's been a while since I've been this nervous. At third is Mossberg. Burkhardt at second. Mondragon at first. I need a tranquilizer. I'm telling you, this is crazy. If Eaton does not score here, they will have stranded 17 runners in the game. Rosenbrock delivers, and the breaking ball is up and in to Carson. 1 ball and no strikes. Rosenbrock has fallen behind some hitters and then somehow come back to retire those hitters. Hitting from the right side. 1-0 pitch. Curveball is up and in again. 2-0. That's the risk of putting a man at first base, but I think that was the right move. 2 balls and no strikes to Carson. The pitch, swinging and missing a fastball down the middle. 2-1. You might just have to take that chance and give in. Throwing the curveball is not necessarily going to work here if you can't spot it the way you want to. Here comes pitch number 159, 2-1. Oh, the bender's in the dirt, and Carson did not swing. It's 3-1. They're one pitch away from tying the game. 3 balls and 1 strike. 4-3 Brush in the top of the 7th with the bases loaded. I can barely watch. The wind, 3-1. Swung on line, foul off to the right and out of play. Here's what we've got. Brush is 1 pitch away from winning. Eaton is 1 pitch away from tying the game or taking the lead. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded, top of the 7th from Butch Butler Field in Greeley. Brush 4, Eaton 3. Sean Carson from the right side awaits a 3-2. Swung on line, foul, and that pitch was going to be ball 4. That was up in the zone. On pitch number 161, Rosenbrock got bailed out there. That pitch was definitely high. We'll do it again. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Petey lays down the sign, the wind. 3-2 pitch. Swung on, grounded to short. Montos Garcia has it, sets, throws to first. Brush wins! The Beat Diggers have won the game by the score of 4-3 and advance to the state championship game. Holy mahungus, what a game from Butch Butler Field in Greeley. As the Beat Diggers have rallied from a 3-0 hole. We need a 3-minute break. Probably more, but we'll take 3 minutes and we'll come back with a recap. Brush 4, Eaton 3 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Beat Digger post-game show is brought to you by Mr. D's Ace Home Center in Sterling Brush and Fort Morgan, your farm and ranch headquarters for all your farm and ranch supplies, and they carry feed for all your animals and pets. Mr. D's Ace Home Center, as the Brush Beat Diggers pulled it off, winning by a score of 4-3 over the Eaton Reds. Here's the line score, incredible. 4 runs on 6 hits for Brush, no errors. They stranded 7 for Eaton. This is in a 7-inning game. 3 runs, 10 hits, 1 error, 17 left on base. The winning pitcher was Kyle Rosenbrock. He went the distance, striking out 13, walking 8. He threw 158 pitches. The loss went to Lane Greiman in relief. Time of the game, 2 hours and 26 minutes. As Eaton got on the board first, a 2-out, 2-strike, 2-run single by Sean Carson made it 2-0, and then they extended the lead to 3-0 on Dalton Lynn's RBI single in the 3rd. Back came the Beat Diggers in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Matos Garcia would score on a pass ball. Alec Peterson in the wild pitches. The Beat Diggers put together some offense, but didn't need much because of some of the wild pitches there thrown by the Reds. It was 3-2 in the bottom of the 5th inning. When Kyle Rosenbrock led off with an infield single, Alec Peterson then doubled him home, tying the game at 3. Moments later, there were 2 down when Peterson, for the second time in the game, would score on a wild pitch, making it 4-3. And then Rosenbrock, time after time after time, getting out of bases-loaded situations in the 4th. Eaton already up with the bases loaded and nobody out, and Rosenbrock got out of that situation. Actually, that was in the 4th at 3-2. And he did not allow a run. And from that point on, Kyle could not have a clean inning, but he did not allow a run to score as the Beat Diggers advance to the Class 3A state title game coming up in about 40 minutes. So first pitch of that state title game will be at approximately 6:10, a little bit after 6 o'clock, at about 6:10, as the Beat Diggers move to 19-6. Eaton loses for the first time this year. They are 25-1, and now it's winner take all. Again, a 6:10 first pitch Mountain Time from Butch Butler Field in Greeley. So we'll take a break here. We'll send it over to ESPN Radio as the Brush Beat Diggers defeat the Eaton Reds by a score of 4-3. We'll come back just after 6 o'clock for the state title game out of Class 3A between the Brush Beat Diggers and the Eaton Reds on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.